Dear students, here in this video I am going to discuss you how the trial balance is prepared. I have already discussed that the items of assets, expenses, losses are on the debit side of the trial balance and drawing account also. And accounts related with capital, liabilities, income, profit and gains are on the credit side of the trial balance. Now here, one by one, I will discuss only which item is of debit nature and which item is of credit nature. The item which will be of credit nature will be on the credit side of the trial balance, and the item which is of the debit nature will be on the debit side of the trial balance. So we are just discussing here, not solving the questions. Here, the question first, capital account 2 lakh. So usually capital account is under capital and it is credit nature. So while preparing trial balance, it will be on the credit side. Cash account is an asset, so it will be on the debit side. Creditors is a liability, so it will be on the credit side. Sales account 3 lakh, that is an income, it will be on the credit side. Stock means inventory. Since nothing is mentioned, so usually inventory or stock is taken as opening stock and it will be put on the debit side of the trial balance. Debtors account is an asset, it will be on the debit side. Bank loan, usually bank loan means we have taken the loan, so it is a liability and it will be on the credit side of the trial balance. Purchases account is an expense, that will be on the debit side of the trial balance. So first question discussed. Now question number second, again the question is lengthy, we have to pass journal then ledger. I am just discussing the journal entry orally. Mohan commenced business with cash. So here in this journal, transaction cash account, debit to capital account. April 3 bought goods 5,000. For this transaction, purchases account debit to cash account. Sold goods from Gopal. Sold goods to Gopal, not from Gopal. It is printing mistake. So Gopal account debit to sales account. This is a credit transaction. Bought goods from Ram. Purchases account debit to Ram account 8,000. Paid trade expenses. Trade expenses account debit to cash account. Received cash from Gopal and discount allowed. Here cash account debit 3950, discount allowed debit 50 to Gopal account 4,000. Paid wages. Wages account debit to cash account 700. Then paid to Ram in full settlement. How much we have to pay to Ram? We have to pay to Ram 8,000, but we are paying him 7,700 in full settlement. That means 300 is discount received. So generally will be Ram account debit 8,000 to cash account 7,700 and to discount received account 300. The last transaction is paid rent. Rent account debit to cash account. Now here capital account will be on the credit side of the trial balance. Cash account will be on the debit side of the trial balance. Purchases account will be on the debit side of the trial balance. Sales account will be on the credit side of the trial balance. Purchases account on the debit side. Gopal, we have sold goods to Gopal. So Gopal is debtor. So Gopal account will be on the debit side if it has a debit balance. If debit equals to credit, then it will not be shown on either side of the trial balance. Bought goods from Ram. Ram is a supplier, creditor. So usually it will be sold on the credit side of the trial balance, but here Ram account will be balanced off. Balanced off means debit total equals to credit total. So it will not be taken in the trial balance. Trade expenses account is an expense, it will be on the debit side of the trial balance. Discount received from Gopal, no, discount allowed to Gopal is a loss and shall be debited. Wages account is an expense, it will be shown on the debit side of the trial balance. And here discount received from Ram is a benefit, it will be shown on the credit side of the trial balance. Rent account is an expense, it will be on the debit side of the trial balance. Question number 3, here we have to prepare a trial balance. So item wise let us discuss whether they are debit or of credit nature. Bank overdraft is a liability on the credit side of trial balance. Sales account is an income, credit side of trial balance. Purchases return account, it is of revenue nature, gain nature, credit side of trial balance. Debtors account is an asset, debit side of trial balance. Wages account, expense, debit side of trial balance. Purchases account 4,45,000 debit side of trial balance. Cash in hand means cash account debit side of trial balance because it is an asset. And why purchase account debit? Because it is an expense. Creditors 2,15,000 is a liability credit side of the trial balance. Sales return is a loss and of opposite nature to sales account, so it will be on the debit side. Equipment account is an asset debit side. Opening stock asset usually debit side of trial balance. So after putting all the debit and credit items, we will see that the credit side has the lesser total. That lesser total will be taken as the capital. Here capital is question mark. That means on the credit side, the difference between the debit total and credit total will be capital. In question number next, here again we have to prepare the trial balance, but let us discuss which item is of debit and credit nature. Capital account, liability, credit. Opening stock, asset, debit. Furniture, asset, debit. Purchases account, expense, debit. Cash account, asset, debit. Carriage expense, debit. Sales income, credit. Building, asset, debit. Return inward means sales return, loss, debit. Return outward means purchase return, gain, a kind of benefit, credit. Trade discount is nowhere shown in the books of account. Discount received 970, credit item. Salary expense, debit item. Office rent expense, debit item. Now the next question, again we have to prepare trial balance. So let us discuss which is of debit and credit nature. Cash account, asset, debit. Capital account, liability or capital, credit. Purchases account, expense, debit. Sales account, income, credit. Purchase return, benefit or gain, credit. Sales return, loss, debit. Transportation charges, debit, expense. Discount allowed, loss, debit. Printing charges, expense, debit. Sundry debtors account, asset, debit. Input CGST, whatever input CGST, all will be debited as they are of asset nature. Input CGST or input SGST or input IGST, they are of assets nature, debit nature, so they will be on the debit side of the trial balance. Sundry creditors, here this side, it is a liability, credit. Investment, asset, debit. Plant and machinery, asset, debit. Building, asset, debit. Furniture, asset, debit. Electricity expense, debit. Postage expense, debit. Drawings, it is of opposite nature to capital account, so debit. Salaries is an expense, debit. Traveling expenses is an expense, debit. Here output CGST, output SGST and output IGST are of liability nature, so they all will be shown on the credit side of the trial balance. Question number 6. Capital account, credit. Furniture and fittings, asset, debit. Motor car, asset, debit. Building, asset, debit. Total debtors, asset, debit. Total creditors, liability, credit. Bad debts, loss, debit. Stock opening, asset, debit. Purchases account, expense, debit. Input CGST, asset, debit. Output CGST, liability, credit. Sales income, credit. Bank credit balance, that means it is a bank overdraft or a kind of bank loan. Credit. Purchase return, revenue, income or benefit, credit. Commission credit, commission credit means commission received, income, credit. Sales return, loss, debit. Advertisement, it is an expense, debit. Interest account, debit, that means we have paid interest to someone, it is an expense, debit. Cash balance means cash account balance, debit, asset. Insurance and tax is an expense, debit. Salaries account is an expense, debit. Output SGST is a liability and it will be credited. So in this video we have discussed 6 questions item by item which be of debit and credit nature. You must listen it again and again with reasons. Thank you.